Hello and welcome. This is my first video, and I felt I'd like to do a little video on opening up this Intel Compute Stick here. Got this thing so that I could actually play audio through a decent amplifier I just received, and well, this seemed like a decent idea. So, running through Windows 8.1 with Bing and play out some audio. I plan to hook up a USB device and play it through there. So let's open the sucker up and see what we got. Let's get a little knife here. And come on. Here we go. Let's see. It looks like we've got a sliding box with a handy pull tab. There we go. Nice empty box there. Oh, and there we go, right on top. Got the Intel Inside unit here. Let's see what happens when we pop this puppy out. Yep, it's not very big. There's a HDMI connector on the end here. On one side we've got a power button. Looks like a USB connector here. That's USB. I'm not quite sure what that connector is. We'll find out in a minute. Micro SD slot there. And possibly some infrared connector detectors right here. So that's what we got there. Inside the box, got a manual. Oh look, Antivirus Plus, 1 year subscription. I just have to go scratchy on the back there. We'll see. Micro USB connector. Yeah, that'll go onto this unit most likely. That is a FireWire HDMI extension. Interesting. Got a bunch of power converters that I will never use, but hey, why not? And a little power brick. Looks like it'll. Oh, I will need one of these because, well, I'll need power. And on the back of that is USB. So USB to the small USB connector on here, and we've got USB out. So that's it for that. What we have inside is a Windows 8.1 machine. It's got 32 gigs of storage, 2 gigs of memory. And that's about it. Bluetooth 4.0, maybe that's what the Window's for. All right. Next thing I'll do is get this thing hooked up and see what we can play with on it. Okay, I've got some things set up here. The supplied HDMI adapter extension thing here, it'll work great with a normal system, but because I wanted to show you some things, I got a little bit longer cable. This is a 6-footer, and it's plugged into a little extension unit here. Just female to female. Plug 2 male ends in. Good to go. Nothing to it. Not a bad little device for this kind of work. Got a power connector here hooked into some power. Let's see. We got some power here. Hey, there we go. Maybe we can turn on. Come on. There we go. Digital television. And just see what happens when we plug this puppy in. Got to get it in the right way. Little blue LED turns on. And, well, nothing so far. Oh, there we go. Intel Compute Stick. I'm going to move the camera here and make this prettier. Okay, had to hook up a remote keyboard here. But let's go ahead and set our language. Oh, yeah, we can be in the United States. Why not? United States, English, US. I'm sorry, I am not in Hong Kong. Oh, let's see, where am I? UTC. Is it up? Yeah. I'm still on plus. Minus, there we go. -5. Eastern Time, US and Canada. Okay. Scroll on down here to next. And it's applying those things. I accept the license agreement. That's wonderful. And it's going. Hey, pretty simple Windows thing here. PC name. What will I call this? How about compute stick? Why not? Sure. And next again. Uh-oh, now it wants Wi-Fi. Well, I live in the wings network here. It needs to think about things. And it wants password. Well, I'm not going to tell you my password, am I? That would be silly. Now I have to remember it. I don't change it very often. I don't type it in very often. That's really silly. Yes, I typed in my old password and cut it out of here before I got to this. And wow, that's really annoying. There's a problem. So, we click the OK button and express settings. Yeah, we want to use the express settings. Why not? My DHCP server is all set up properly. Next, I'll set up my account. Well, I have an account. Sign into my Microsoft account. Okay. We'll mess this all out. Hey, there we go. Now what does it want me to do? I can't read that. I may not even play all this stuff. Hey, if I turn around here, I can see all kinds of things. Okay. How would I like to get this code? Yes, that phone number. Sure. All right. Well, we will Okay. 875-5555. Really, 5 5s in the code. I'm assuming that changes every single time, so I don't care about that one. Setting up my account. There we go. As you can see, this thing's moving pretty quick. It's not a bad little machine. We can run some real tests on it once it's... Oh, look, it's got to restart. We can run some real tests on it once it is up and running properly. I'll go and look on websites and see what people tend to use for their Windows testing systems. I don't know if this thing's going to run Windows 10 or not. It did just come out. It is a very small embedded type system. It may not work on Windows 10 at all. We'll see. I really have it as a single purpose device in the first place. It might play movies or not. I don't know. I haven't messed around with that yet. We'll see. I really just want it to be an MP3 decoder. So, I want to do MP3s and push them out at 182 kilobit. Reboot process. Hey, I'm here. F2, enter setup. Why not? Will it let me?
Maybe. The keyboard I'm using is not a direct attach. It's a remote keyboard, so F2 may not work with this one. I might have to hook up a direct keyboard in order to get into BIOS and stuff like that. That's fine. That can wait. Apparently it's installing my apps. And that is very, very green. That's very blue. That's very pink. And the contrast. Oh, what made Microsoft come up with these colors? They don't contrast well with white. Okay, so it is finally finished installing and loading up. We're at our standard start menu for Windows 8. Let's see what we got here. There's my mouse. I'm not sure if the screen is set up properly or not, but heck with it. Apps, all kinds of neat little apps and stuff, which I've never explored. And okay, so let's go ahead and get a benchmark run on this thing. Okay, so I've given up on trying to fix the screen. We can get it all here for at least a PC benchmark. This is just a test screen, so not that big a deal of the fact that it's kind of crappy. I actually bought this monitor a couple of years ago because it had a component in on the back of it, which means that it was a nice flat panel display that I was able to use on an old Apple II GS. Yes, that's how far back I go with this kind of stuff. So it's still a useful monitor. Not so great in this case, but it will do the job, and so we can at least try some things. So let's do some tests here. Obviously, the disk is solid state, so when we benchmark that, well, there it goes. Doing the writes. Here come the reads. That was a linear 512K. I'm assuming that's randoms. Random writes, random reads. Not so bad on 512K blocks. Or maybe the linear is just like nothing. Just, who knows? I don't know. It was good, so we'll see. As for the 4K blocks, ugh. Maybe these are random. I don't know. Not the greatest, but hey, reads and writes are, well, reads are excellent. Writes are fair. 30, 40 megs a second writes. I've seen spinning disks get better, but hey, why not? Now the CPU tests, remember this is a 4-core Atom. So a single threaded job. Doing hashes in megabytes per second. Oh, let's see, single threaded. Let's see what's going on here. 33 megabytes a second. Now we're doing multi-threaded. It's got 4 cores. So we'll see how many threads it actually decides to use. That could be interesting. If it's using more than 4, well, that's a mistake on the software's part. And almost done here. And we are getting, used 5 threads, 115 megabytes a second. Not so bad, I guess. I don't know, kind of hard to tell. The memory, again, it's got 2 gigs of RAM. It's just checking the speed of the RAM memory. I don't really know. Okay, there it goes, it's done. 600 megabytes a second. And now the GPU. Well, obviously the GPU is not going to be the greatest piece of equipment. It is just a, oh look, it had an error. That's awesome. Apparently there is no GPU. Well, the GPU in it is so poor that there's no point in even trying. Well, that makes it easy. So there's your PC benchmark test on it.